Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the January 2nd through 5th General Hospital recap. Happy New Year, starting the year off.
You said that so depressed.
Happy New Year.
No. Like, Happy New Year.
I am mad at how we started this year, but we will get to.
I am too.
It's...
I did not...
Guys, just get used to me crying every single week for the duration of whatever.
I did not expect to cry the first week, and I did.
Yeah. So, speaking of crying, I won't give too much. Here, let me write that down too. My aunt obviously has known me like my entire life. We're close in age, but she was witness to my sudden crying this week. It makes sense. I'll bring it up more in reality check. But
Alrighty.
So for Port Charles Pipelines, first of all, thank you to everybody who wrote in Friday morning saying, stay off social media if you don't want a spoiler. If you haven't watched the special yet, we had multiple people let us know to stay off of social media.
Awesome.
Which I personally appreciate because even if it's on social media, it can still be a spoiler.
Yes.
Even if it's been on for weeks and weeks.
Yes.
It can still be a spoiler because we try really hard not to see them.
You know what spoiled it for me? The email from That's Awesome podcast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, and I sent that actually as a screenshot to one of the people who wrote in and said, well, if I hadn't seen your email, I would have seen this.
Yep. I had seen it somewhere and I was like, I don't know that I believe that, and I'm not going to click on the article to confirm it because I want it to be a surprise. And then I saw the email from Bradford and him, and I was like, oh.
But we're not talking about it right now.
Nope.
Because we are doing an entire 411 about the special this upcoming Thursday.
Yes.
So we will talk all about that. Yep. We're just going to not talk about it at all. But we did get a few interesting emails. So from Kimberly Hudson, Kevin's shirt. Good afternoon. I was just watching the GH Spotlight channel during lunch, and it's an episode with Ryan pretending to be Kevin, and he's wearing a white shirt.
Mm.
You mentioned on episode 501 that the GH clothing designer who recently passed away chose to never dress Kevin in a white shirt. What a clever little signal that it really isn't Kevin, although you'd think his family and friends would have at least noticed the fashion change. My husband never wears tank tops, and if he suddenly started flashing his shoulders all over town, I'd immediately know it was really his evil twin. Happy New Year, and can't wait to watch the anniversary special this week, Kim. So
that's awesome.
Yeah,
good job catching that.
I know.
Like, even though we said it, I still have not made a conscious
Yeah.
What color was his shirt in the special now?
We'll look it up and talk about it Thursday.
Huh.
And then our girl Ellen wrote in just saying that she was really happy that when she woke up Monday morning and said, Alexa, put on Pier 54 podcast, there was a new episode.
Yay.
And we have never missed a Monday.
No.
We only did just last year a couple of reruns of revisits of some chats that we had, which somebody asked, somebody actually wrote in, I'm not going to give too much away because it was a fan spotlight request.
Yeah.
Came in and they're like, I'm really surprised you haven't done Brenda yet, considering you guys talk about her pretty frequently. She'll have to come back, I feel, for us to get the immediate, we have to do Brenda, because she is it's any of the iconic characters. We haven't really done the legends. I mean, I would put Brenda at legend.
Yeah.
We're still talking about her, and she hasn't even been on the show in 11 years.
Right.
And that was only for a minute, too.
Mm-hmm.
So we were actually going to start Bobbie this week, and then the special came out. We had no idea that it was going to time with what they did. So we are going to be starting Bobbie Spencer, though.
That's okay. I feel like emotionally I needed this week.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have done research on top of this week. No. Mm-mm.
So just so you know, I know we've been saying that we've been putting it off, and we have, but
I mean, we were putting it off until they made it official on the show.
Right. We were going to start it, and then we were like, no, let's wait until see what happens, even though we know it's going to take weeks and weeks, similar to the way that we did Alan. And I guess we did Anna, though.
Yeah.
Hers was kind of easier, though, because, I don't know, why haven't we done Brenda? I feel like it's the same reason why we haven't done Carly.
Right.
We also only have 52 episodes a year for the
True.
411.
So
we will do Brenda someday.
We could
like we'll do everyone at some point.
We could do Sonny's love interests and just go through them and save Carly for last because she's not last, I guess next to last if we're still doing this Nina crap. But next to last because she is more of a legacy also. We have lots of ideas. You guys know we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
You'll find out when we do.
Right. But yeah, so after this week, the next few weeks are definitely going to be dedicated to Bobbie. But I would be surprised if we wind up never doing Brenda.
Should we do the write-ups of Bobbie and have like our significant others actually do the podcast? Because I feel like we're just going to
sit here and cry.
You guys are going to understand anyway.
Huh.
That one might need the transcript up because no one's going to understand half of what we say.
No. Oh. Okay. I think that was really it for
pipelines. Whew, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it's a sleepy Sunday morning, except for it's almost 1 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that was it for the Port Charles pipeline.
I'm distracted. Is that heating pad on the floor from like 1940?
No.
Okay.
But it works really well.
As long as it works, that's all that matters. But it has like the old like clicky dial instead of the clicky button. And mine's pretty old and it has the clicky button. So
I don't know. I'd got it
to know how old that is.
I don't know. I've had it for a really long time, but I don't know.
If they need a heating pad to recreate some of the old GH episodes from the 50s, call up Shannon. She's got your heating pad.
Yes. Add me to the props department, I guess. Okay. So Hulu headlines, which I am going to reiterate that they need to stop putting
the main point in the description.
Because January 2nd, Carly receives life-altering news.
Oh.
Yeah. Sonny confronts Michael. Olivia gets... Now, you see, because that still wouldn't... If they had timed it... So, in more than one way, she did receive life-changing news.
Yes.
However, nobody is assuming anything other than...
Yes.
What happened. At least in my opinion. I mean, that was what I immediately went, no. And I just want to say, I made the mistake of not watching anything until Friday. And I watched Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the special on Friday afternoon.
Oh my gosh.
I was emotionally exhausted. My son came out of his room at one point, and I'm just like crying. He's like, "Oh, did someone die on your show?" And then I shared with him the backstory, and he's like, "Oh." He's like, "I'm so sorry." I'm like, "Thank you." And that was only like 2 episodes in. He's like, you okay? But, I mean, they know. Then Sonny confronts Michael. Olivia gets angry with Lois. Sam grapples with how to co-parent with Drew.
Did she really grapple? I don't feel like that was that intense, but okay.
Willow comes to Nina for help.
Yeah.
You loved that scene, didn't you?
No, it's my favorite.
That was your opinion altering.
Mm-hmm.
On Wednesday, Michael confesses to Sonny. Drew supports Carly in her time of need. Seriously? Like, why don't you just put on there, Bobbie died? Sorry. Tracy starts to put the pieces together. Loved it.
Yes.
Okay. Willow suspects Michael's ulterior motives, and Ava has a surprise visitor. Mm-hmm. On Thursday, January 4th, Carly lashes out. Sonny encounters Cyrus at the church. Joss and Dex find a drunken Adam. Curtis has a romantic surprise for Portia, and Laura has a realization about Esme. Then on Friday, Felicia and Anna reminisce. Cody comforts Maxie. Sasha encourages Nina to have faith, and Sam and Drew have an argument, and Dante's in a predicament.
Yep, all that happened.
I don't even know how to start. I hated that they basically started with Carly and Drew saying it was such an obvious lead up to we're going to just less time on our phones, and you knew as soon as he walked away and you saw her phone, you're like, uh-huh. Because she kept saying stuff about like not taking life for granted and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, this is what we're doing now.
No, see, it was obvious, like, thinking back, but I was so, like, not ready for it. Like, in my mind, they never were going to do it this first week. And so whenever her phone came off unknown caller, I was like, oh, this is going to be some other bad news. Like, I thought that was Drew's phone. And so I was like, she's picking up Drew's phone, and this is going to be some weird something from whenever he was away and whatever. And so I was just like, okay, we're going to,
well, I'm glad you were surprised
somewhere. It was a bad surprise, though. I feel like if I would have paid attention and thought about it, I would have been like, oh, okay, now I know this is coming.
Like, the whole time they were talking in bed and everything, I'm like, yeah, this is not a normal conversation that, I mean, I guess it is because it's New Year's Eve and you're making the vows and the resolutions and stuff, but there was just, I don't know, there was something off about it. Again, it also could have been the fact that I read the headline.
Yeah. See, I don't read the headline.
I normally don't.
Nope.
But I saw it because I clicked and it was there. And yeah, so Carly gets the call that Bobbie passed away in her sleep in Amsterdam.
I'm glad they did it in her sleep, that they didn't make it something more complicated or whatever. I don't know. I felt so bad for the actors as they were doing it. Like, that's all I could think of was, seriously, you guys have been friends or known each other for all these years, and now you have to be in front of a camera. I don't know, like, I would love to ask one of them, was it kind of like a comfort, like it was scripted, so you just stick to the script, it's another acting day, and move on?
Right.
Or if your normal emotions just kind of took over, and it was like, oh man, how am I going to say these lines?
Right.
Without being a blubbering mess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
So I thought that they played it well, though.
I do.
I thought that it all made sense, like, she answered the phone. She got the call. Drew came down. He was like, what's wrong? She told him. And he was like, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And Drew is like a caretaker. And so he instantly was like, let me call them back. Let me get together. You know, how are we going to get her home? What are we going to do next? Blah, blah, blah. And you just sit here and grieve and handle your feelings. And then she talked to Lucas, and Lucas said, I won't say anything to the kids. I'll give you time to do whatever you need to do and whatever. And she called Jocelyn and Michael and told them to come over. I just, the way it played out, I felt like was very, like, yeah, that's all you can do in that situation kind of thing.
I feel bad that right now, Joss and Maxie were recast. More for Eden, though, I'm kind of wondering if it would have been so much more difficult because she just lost her mom.
Right.
You know, so I'm kind of, I guess in a way I'm almost happy for her but I still feel, back to your question, like,
which is
would it have been therapeutic or would it have been, you know, or would it have been too much?
Right.
So, but then also for Maxie, I hope that Kirsten comes back soon.
Yes.
To be able to, but the biggest issue that I had with the entire thing was Carly gets the call that Bobbie died. And we cut to the credits, and it's Deck the Halls.
I know.
Playing. Guys.
I know.
We got an email about that, too.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yes.
I agree.
And I'm so glad that I was not just, and normally I don't respond to the emails. It's something we talk about here. I was like, I know, that was ridiculous. But also, they had Bobbie die on the anniversary of my papa passing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So that sucked.
Yeah.
And I was like, I mean, I watched it Friday, and it didn't hit me until I was like a little, I'm like, oh my gosh, now Bobbie and my papa. And he was the one that was married to my Grammy, who's my GH person. Then I started talking about that, and I'm like, they can't have Luke come back. I like your idea of him bringing her to heaven, but at the same time, I don't like the idea because then Luke is really, really dead.
Right.
And because they would never undo that.
No, but I feel
it has to be Tony.
But Luke has to do something.
He does. He has to come back.
Come back, or at least a phone call.
What if they just have him at the memorial, standing in the back, just watching real quick, and he can just be standing there and just leave. Okay. Sorry.
I love you so much.
Similar to how he met Tracy in Amsterdam, where he just was in a cafe real quick.
Yeah.
You know, just have everyone at the church and just have, at the very end of it, show that Luke is like hiding in the corner and don't need him to say anything, don't need anyone to see him.
Right. Just something, because there's no way that Bobbie would pass away, and that if he was alive, he would not do something.
Right.
And if he's not alive for real, which I still don't believe, then he would be the one that would take her to heaven.
Yeah.
So, but the perk, if there is one, though, of Bobbie passing was all of the flashbacks. Oh my God.
Well, that's where I was just like, I can't do this. But I love that Drew was like, I'll get my contacts to bring her back safely, so they didn't have to rely on whatever typically happens with the U.S. Embassy or whatnot. But then Carly being like, no one's going to be there to hold her hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Drew reassured her through everything and was like, listen, when was the last time you talked to her?
I know.
And what did you say? Like, she knew she was loved. She knew that she mattered. She knew that you missed her. Like, you did everything that you can.
And then Lucas called Laura, and they were at we see him and Lucy scheming at the bar at the Port Charles Grill.
See, that's where I'm thinking that he's going to get off the hook, though. Because that was weird, too. That was definitely a moment that I was like, okay, so Tracy's going to see this, because Laura does not take selfies. But okay. They're over, Scott and Lucy are over at the bar. She just like skipped out on her meal with her boyfriends and went to sit at the bar with Scott.
Right.
And so Laura's like, oh, while the fourth part of our party is not even here, because we wouldn't ask her to take a picture of the three of us.
Right.
Why don't I just take a selfie? And whenever she takes a selfie of the three of them in the background, you see that Scott's over there with Lucy. But if
she did have a good cover, though, where she's like, I've been told I need to up my social media, which means like she has to take... I guess it makes it sound like she has to take more selfies. So maybe she's just getting used to it with Kevin and her brother.
Yes, but
I know what you're saying.
But just the main coincidence of at the same second, Brook Lynn's over at the mansion being like, "Grandma, you need to get on the gram." Blah blah blah. Like what? So, when Tracy sees it, she's like, okay, like I gotcha, or whatever, because we had just gone through them texting all day, and Brook Lynn was making fun of her, and Chase was like, oh yeah, Scott's definitely flirting, and whatever.
I thought that was cute, though.
It was cute.
Yeah.
But then
Scott sending purple vegetables to her.
Yes. She's like,
or colorful. I'm sorry. It was
colorful fruits.
I thought it was
colorful
just
vegetables.
Yeah. He's like, it was just colorful. It was like a purple vegetable emoji. Lucy said something, and she's like, that's not what that means. Oops.
Anyway, and so when Tracy finally confronts him and is like, you're just doing this because you're with Lucy, he can be like, no, I was with Lucy because we just found out that Bobbie died.
See, now I think that Scott's not going to do it because Bobbie died.
Or maybe,
I think he's going to be like, no, I'm not doing this to somebody because this is just...
Or maybe him and Tracy fall in love for real, because they did have that little back in the day.
Yeah, we need to really find that information. Guys, if you know the story, because I think I said I couldn't find it anywhere.
Mm-mm.
If you know the story of what happened, that one dalliance that they had, I think that's the word that she used.
Yes.
Please write in what the heck happened, because we need the details. But yeah, so Laura gets the call from Lucas because she's like, Lucas? Like, why would Lucas be calling me?
Right.
And that was just as Scott and Lucy were getting up to come over. And that's when she told them. And then Lucy she was the first one to go, right? Like she shared about, yeah, we didn't really get along so much, but they had the comforting moment because that was right after BJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lucy was like, can I just give you a hug and can you give me one back? And then Scott still loves her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that they said that they had Lucy say everyone does. No, that's not the same.
No, not as...
That's not the same.
No.
I'll say that was probably the only line that I was like, no. But I guess that's Lucy.
Yeah.
And then Laura being like, yeah, we had some issues too, but she became like she was her sister, and
yeah,
seeing all those flashbacks was really nice. I liked that they didn't have Kevin really say anything, because I don't think Kevin really interacted very much with Bobbie, and he just sat there, but you could see on his face that like John Lindstrom had tears in his eyes.
Yes, exactly. No, I liked that they didn't have the people that didn't know her overreact to it. Like Cody, whenever he was with Maxie, he was like, I've only ever met the woman once or whatever. She seemed very nice, but I don't know. And then Maxie told the story of how she has BJ's heart and that it was Aunt Bobbie that decided to make that sacrifice. And
I hope she goes to her grave every year on BJ's birthday because she always called her.
Yeah.
I mean, she talked to her all the time. She even said she's who I could go to all the years that my mom was gone. And she's like, and she's still my go-to.
Right.
So I hope that she...
I know, I was mad. I thought that they like totally rushed it. Like they did the Epiphany memorial in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
So whenever it showed the pictures of everybody and then Felicia talking to her and Maxie being like, no, it's okay. I don't need to be there. I was like, are they seriously going to do the memorial without Maxie? And then whenever they showed her step into the office, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
And then the same thing, like you were saying about the characters that didn't interact too much with Bobbie not overreacting, Anna.
Right.
And she said,
like, I want to be the
your
friend.
Best friend as you are to mine. So I'm going to be here for you.
Yes.
Not, trying to, she was letting Felicia have her stuff. And that was so, I thought when they were holding the little, whatever it was, bowl, vase, cup, whatever they were trying to get, I so badly wanted Lucas to walk through the door and be like, so that was supposed to be a bowl,
Right.
But did you notice that it was Ryan Carnes in the photo?
Yes.
So I feel like that is a plus.
Yeah.
That maybe he'll...
I mean,
please move heaven and earth to get
he has to.
Jonathan Jackson and Ryan Carnes there and get Lulu out of the coma, please.
Right.
Oh, I mean, that's going to be devastating
Laura
if they don't.
Open the door for all of it because she was like, the Spencers have had so much loss.
I know.
And she listed everyone. She was like, I know Lulu's not gone, but she's gone from us. And I was like, yeah, somebody needs to go tell her so she wakes up.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I bet Laura does go tell her.
I'm sure. She has to.
Yeah. And she'll wind up crying and being like, honey, I wish that you were here.
Right. And then she'll magically open her eyes.
She'll flutter her fingers for a second.
First.
Yep.
And then Laura will go, Lulu, and then she'll flutter her eyes.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. Needs to happen ASAP.
But yeah, Felicia and Anna cleaned out Bobbie's office.
Yeah.
I love that they still had her original badge.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was really nice.
Yeah. And made fun of the little nurses' hats because I still don't know why anyone had to wear those either. Like, what?
And the hair. We all had the hair.
Right. Exactly. Oh my gosh. It was a nice...
But wait, why was Bobbie in Anna's wedding to Robert why was Bobbie in Anna's wedding to Robert if they weren't really that close?
Because I think they were all just like...
Or was it because of Robert and Luke type thing? I don't know.
I don't know.
Because that doesn't really make sense. Like,
I think they were all closer friends back then. Like they all ran around together.
Yeah.
But then Anna was gone for so long.
Okay.
That she just didn't keep up. I mean, it makes sense that Bobbie and Felicia kept up because they had cousins. Their kids were cousins.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. That just popped in my head because I really liked that they made the distinction that she was Felicia's.
Yes.
And I'm really glad they did not do a flashback to BJ because that would have been too much.
Yes. I would have cried and cried and cried.
Like, I thought for sure that when she started that they were going to show them in the hallway.
No.
And I'm like, no.
I did love that they showed Lucy and Bobbie in the hallway, like you said.
That's what I was saying. Yeah, the hug. Yeah.
The hug. I was like, I'm so glad that they included her. Not even, I mean, the hug was
nice moment.
The hug was nice.
Yes.
No matter what. But just the fact that they weren't
always at each other's throats.
Yes. It wasn't them bickering, whatever. That Bobbie did respect what Lucy had with BJ.
I'm surprised Scott didn't make some kind of a snarky comment about the fact that, I mean, Lucy and Laura never fought over Scott, but Lucy and Bobbie fought over Scott, and Bobbie and Laura fought over Scott.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a lot of memories. I'm not prepared for the weeks to come.
And then, I mean, and even Sam, like, talking to Drew, like, I didn't know Bobbie very well, but I really respected her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to be, like, if I had known, I would not have waited until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I had a lot of marketing stuff to do.
Yeah.
So I was like, it's an admin day. That's typically when I'll pick something to binge. I plan it.
Yeah.
I was not emotionally okay. I felt like I had done like 2 hours of therapy.
Did you do Tuesday through Friday and then the special? Or
No.
did you do Tuesday, Thursday special, and then Friday?
I didn't watch Friday until this morning because I literally could not handle it.
I did the regular Tuesday through Friday.
Oh my gosh, how are you functioning?
And then I did the special though, so that like brought me back out of it.
Oh, yeah.
So.
No, I did the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, like just during the afternoon on Friday, watched the special, and then I was torn. I'm like, well, I'm already here. Should I just watch Friday? And then I was like, no. And then I woke up this morning going, oh shoot, I did not watch Friday. So I did it this morning. I did not cry as much at the Felicia and Anna as I just did. Just because I think I was just kind of tapped out though.
No, I cried the most when she was talking, when Carly was talking about, you know, what more could I have done? Should I have demanded that she come home? Blah, blah, blah. Because I feel like those are the feelings you have when someone in your family passes away no matter what. And
well, she said that she kept finding reasons to stay in Amsterdam. Right. And this is why I'm thinking Luke is definitely not dead, because I think Bobbie found Luke and they were spending time together. And then that's why he is going to be standing in the back corner of the funeral.
Okay. I'll allow
because I think that's why she stayed. She blamed, but also I don't feel like Bobbie would have withheld that information from Tracy.
Yeah, I kind of feel like
I wasn't thinking that.
Having health problems and didn't want to come home and burden her family with them, so she stayed away.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Either way, it is happening now, so
yeah,
we're gonna have to whatever. But I feel like that's pretty much all of the Bobbie stuff.
That's all the.
So I think it opened on Tuesday, didn't it? With Lois being like, yeah, she, well, I guess she...
Not really a fan of that.
I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. Like I said, I don't like that she's butting into people's business, but at the same time, Lois is not one to lie or keep secrets, especially from Sonny.
Right.
And so she kind of was stuck. And then I didn't like that she said, ask Michael. I felt like she should have just... I got this information. This is this. If you want to start asking questions beyond that to other people, then that's fine. But I want to let you know that there are people that know and didn't tell you. And so I have to tell you it was your stupid wife that turned in Carly.
See, I wish that she had told Michael or gone to Michael first, because they don't really interact. And so he doesn't know really Sonny's relationship with Lois. Mm-hmm. And Lois probably could have reasoned with him on, listen, I understand you made this arrangement with Ned or whatever. I know your dad.
Right.
You have to come clean about this, because if not, like, giving him at least the opportunity to do it and not just be the one blurting it out. Mm-hmm. So Nina in the meantime had decided to tell Sonny, but
whatever.
I also didn't like that she said, and so does your whole family.
Right.
Like, everyone you know lies to you.
Yeah. No, everyone did not know.
So then Sonny confronted Michael and was like, what is it, Michael? And Michael still didn't really answer. This is the Michael that, like,
yes,
we like.
Right. He's like, I couldn't tell you. And it even like flashed back to that moment whenever he went into Sonny's office and was like, okay, I have something to tell you. And then Sonny's like, oh my gosh, I just love Nina so much, blah, 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 barf. And Michael was like, I can't tell you. Like, I'll handle it. It's fine. Whatever. So I think I liked the reaction of Willow, or the consequence side of Willow, more than Sonny. Because, like, I do feel
Michael said Nina's name as soon as she and Willow walked through the door. Yeah. Nina and Willow walked down the steps.
Right.
And it was like,
exactly. And Nina's like, yeah, it's true, or whatever. And then they get into it and they're yelling, and Sonny's like, just get away from me. And she's like, I was on my way to tell you right now. And he was like, no, I don't believe you. And I was like, thank you. Thank you for not believing her, because although she said she was on her way to tell you, whenever she got here, she wouldn't have actually told you, because she's been on her way to tell you, air quotes, several times before, and it has not happened. So good job telling her she's a liar. And so everybody like runs off their own direction, and Lois got out of there first. Like, I dropped this bomb and now I'm going to move because it's not my problem. But then they showed Michael chasing after Willow and them stopping at the pier and arguing. And she was like, no, you knew this and lied to me. And he tried to throw the whole leukemia stuff back in her face.
But I didn't like, okay, I know why they did the break the way that they did to cause the drama of it, but he had a point with we were both trying to protect each other from absolutely devastating news.
Yes. And I will take his excuse and understand that until Willow was like, yeah, but you like manipulated the situation even more. I was only allowed to see my mom whenever you were telling her to, but I didn't know that. So it affected, who knows? I may have hung out with her and hated her and been like, okay, I'm done. But because you had final control, I don't know what was real plans, fake plans, canceled plans, not canceled plans.
Right.
Like, you messed up everything. And now I can't trust you. I can't trust her. Like, where does that put me?
Right.
So Yes, I liked that she took it that deep. Because at first I thought she was just going to be like, Michael, you shouldn't have lied to me.
That was their first fight. I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that they gave Willow back her backbone.
Yes.
Because she's spunky. Not spunky. I feel like spunky's the wrong word.
But she stands up for what she believes in.
Right.
Like, even whenever it was way back in the beginning and Nina was being a jerk to her about all the Charlotte stuff, she was like, you can get me fired, but you have no reason to get me fired. Right. Everything I told you and all the rules that I applied were 100% correct in this situation. It was not a vendetta against a third grader at the time or whatever.
No, exactly. So, yeah. Because prior to that, the reason why Willow and Nina showed up together is because Willow had snagged her dress, and so she went to Nina to see if Crimson had a dress to borrow.
She happened to have $1 million dress I can put on to look amazing.
But no jewelry to match, so therefore Nina had to give her necklace.
Right. But I was glad that she gave her the necklace, because she was like, do I look okay? And I was like, girlfriend, you need a necklace. And then Nina was like, here, you need a necklace.
Yeah, I'm bad at being a girl like that, so I would have just been like, yeah, you're fine. But yeah.
Yeah, they had just had that moment of like motherly love, and then boom, bomb dropped.
And I loved, though, that Sonny's first reaction had nothing to do with him and was all about Scout and Drew.
Yep.
And obviously Carly, but it was Scout first, then Drew, and obviously Carly. And he's like, you did it out of spite. And she's like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did.
Right. And then she goes on to say that she's like, I did not do it out of spite. I was mad that Carly had kept the secret of my daughter. But I'm like, yes, exactly. That is spite. And she's like, oh, okay, kind of.
So obviously New Year, I started the new 2024 recap and everything. These categories are getting filled up quickly already because I changed Sonny's to people Sonny yelled at / intimidated.
Oh, geez. That's going to be a
instead of
list.
just right.
Wow.
What else do we have? Oh, the other violence. Yeah, we have a lot.
Yeah.
So
I did love that Sonny left everybody, went to the church. Like his original intention was, I'm going to go to the church. I'm going to yell and scream at God. I'm going to pray. I'm going to like, whatever. And stupid Cyrus walks in. Like, what does he just follow everybody? Because he's always right there. But he walks in and is like, oh, Sonny, don't be upset. Blah, blah, blah. I'll help you. And Sonny's like, shut up. You don't even know what I'm like here about and upset about. And Cyrus is like, oh, but I do. Your spouse betrayed you. Okay. Sorry, Cyrus, but you got what you deserved there. You were 100% provoking him.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think he thought Sonny was going to do what he did.
No.
And so then when he punched him, and he's like, and then he starts quoting the turn the other cheek. So Sonny punched the other cheek.
Yes.
I'm like, and then Cyrus was kind of, see, and that's why I don't think he was necessarily trying to provoke him into violence. Because then Cyrus, okay, if he was trying to provoke...
so naive when it comes to Cyrus. What is wrong with you?
No, I think that Cyrus is not naive to Sonny. And so he would not have, he doesn't have a death wish.
No.
So he would not have provoked Sonny to the point where he did what he did.
No. He meant to provoke Sonny to the point where Sonny beat him up bad enough that people would comment on it or perhaps get him like in the hospital, like, let's check you out. Oh my gosh. He did not realize that Sonny had the anger that Sonny has and was going to beat the crap out of him so that he had to go to the hospital. But it was still just a whole ploy of let me tell everyone how Sonny's not wonderful. It was a 100% setup that he knew it was going to go that way. Maybe not that extreme, but he wanted to say
that's
to
what I was
Laura,
trying to say. I'm like, I really don't think that he would intentionally have gotten himself.
He wanted to be able to go to Laura and be like, your best friends know better than me. That was the whole point of all of it.
And that's basically what he said. He was like, I've been telling you, Sonny's not different than me, but...
And she's like, but he is. What did you do?
But then she had to go tell Dante.
Yeah.
And then Dante had to show up and arrest Sonny.
So I feel like that's not fair. I'm sure that that's how the laws work somehow, but I don't feel like that's fair. Dante went in and was like, hey, who did this to you? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes out and says, he told me that he would cooperate with the police basically whenever heck freezes over. I can't remember exactly what quote he used, but it was like something Bible-y of like, not going to happen. So Laura goes in as his sister, sits down and is like, oh my gosh, Cyrus, what happened to you? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, your friend Sonny hit me. And then she goes to Dante and is like, hey, by the way, your dad's the one. Right. Your dad's the one that beat up Cyrus, blah, blah, blah. No. If I say I'm not, like, Cyrus should have had to have said it to the police. Anything else is hearsay.
Or why didn't they have Laura go talk to Sonny? Because Sonny wouldn't lie to Laura, and then it would be the same exact conversation she just had with Esme about no, you have to turn yourself in.
Yes.
You know, so
any of those
real quick, Laura found out that Esme's broke into Wyndemere.
Because Esme is the only person in the whole town that has red gloves that lost one this winter.
Well, but she asked her about... Okay, the chances of it also being at Wyndemere, though.
I agree, but it was just like... First of all, Esme would not have said nonchalantly, oh, I lost the other one. Because she knew that Laura was at Wyndemere. She knew. So she would have taken that other glove and thrown it away. She wouldn't have just carried one glove with her.
But that's where she's still not...
Like the second...
Pay attention. The ferry leaves at 10 a.m. Roads are busy.
Great.
Dad, pack the boot.
Yeah.
Rosie, got your teddy?
Uh-huh.
Honey, how's the car?
Windows clean, car wax
I
covered.
meant the tyres.
Oh, sorted them at Quick Fit last week.
Brilliant.
Planning the perfect getaway this summer? Make sure your tyres are up for the job. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quick Fit. Drive away happy every time.
Not full back to being Esme. She's still...
It doesn't matter. If I lost a glove by 3 days later or 2 days later, whatever, because this was Christmas to like New Year's-ish time, right? So by the time that those days had passed, I would have thrown my other glove away. I may
or
have
not had it with me,
I may have made a comment, like stupidly, if Spencer would have said, oh, I wanted to get you something from Ace. Is there something you need?
Right.
I may have been like, oh, actually, I just lost my gloves. If you want to buy me a $10 pair of gloves, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But she would not sit down at the table, drop her glove again, because she just looked at it outside before she went into the bar, sit down and drop it again. And then whenever he's like, oh, I think you dropped your glove, be like, oh, yeah, I lost my other one.
Yeah.
In front of Laura. No. Even if you're not a bad person, you still don't incriminate yourself. Like, she knew she was at Wyndemere. She knew she lost her glove. Come on, Esme. But I did like that Laura, like, put her in her place, and then she kind of freaked out some, and Laura was like, no, I'm going to go with you. Like, I'm not going to leave you by yourself. We're family, nice. But you got to turn yourself in.
I didn't like that she said she didn't remember anything.
You knew that's what she was going to say.
Know.
That's what Laura Heather told her to say.
I know.
She's going to listen to her mom.
I don't like that.
And then we already talked about that's whenever after that she got the call, or was that before that she got the call about Lucas? No, Esme left and then she got the call about Lucas.
Yes.
So we talked about all of that.
But back to Sonny screaming at Nina. He told her to go make things right with Carly. I will say on Nina's defense though that
you wouldn't be doing that on New Year's Eve.
Not on New Year's Eve, not in the middle of the night.
Right. First of all, she had a point when she said to Sonny, can't do it now because of it being New Year's and nighttime and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And whatever. But then she shows up there anyway by herself. Like, come on. You would have been like, okay, Sonny, we're going to go do this. And at least had him see it.
Right.
So that you could pretend to be sincere. Instead, Carly's just like, I loved that even though Carly was feeling all the emotions from Bobbie that she was feeling, that she was still able to be like, okay, I can't deal with this right now because of other things. But on top of that, like, you're not apologizing because you're sorry. That would have come before everyone found out. You're apologizing now because you're trying to save whatever you can with Sonny, and you should know.
My favorite when she was saying that, she goes, oh, you got found out. Like she did a little sing song with it. I'm like, okay.
That was great. So yeah, the whole thing of just you aren't here for pure intentions. You are here because now it's all blown up and you want to bandage it as quick as you can. And I'm not dealing with you.
And then Carly had Drew find out.
That was even better than Carly finding out.
Vile, and said that she does not love her kids or her grandkids. She just likes the idea of being a mother and a grandmother. I was like, oh.
I love that he started it with, I can't do to you what I would if you were a man.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you're in so much trouble.
I think Sonny had the same thought, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because that's why Cyrus got...
Yes, exactly. He took all of his aggression out on Cyrus. And that's why I'm sure Cyrus didn't think it was going to be as bad as it was. But you also know that Sonny has some violence issues. And that's what Lois showed up the next morning and was like, did the cleaning crew already come? Like, why is your house spotless? And then noticed his knuckles and was like, okay, what did you hit? Go get stuff for me to bandage you up, but what did you hit?
And he had packed Nina's bags.
Yes. Yes. But as much as I don't like the idea of it, I did like that Lois went the whole thought process. She was like, well, her stuff's not out on the lawn, basically. You put it in suitcases, so where are you sending her? Mm-hmm. And he was like, she owns a hotel. And Nina was like, you still have your wedding ring on? Like, you're not done yet. What's going on?
But she did point out, basically, Nina profited and took so much from Carly, like with the hotel and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, but then right after the fight is when Lois and Olivia went back to the Quartermain mansion.
Oh, yeah.
And Lois called out Olivia for keeping a secret from Sonny, and Olivia's like, not even close to the same thing. Like, I was afraid for my son's life, and then how was I supposed to know that he was going to become an undercover detective that wound up getting shot by his dad?
Yep.
You know, it's not at all the same thing.
Not the same thing, but I did feel for Lois because I feel like you get caught in the moment of an argument. And sometimes you push it too far.
Some places you don't go,
understand.
Though. And especially not where they do love each other. It's not like she was fighting with Nina.
Right.
And, doesn't care.
Right.
Like, she really, although, first thing, Brook Lynn, Ma, what'd you do?
Yep. And she's like, I may have put my nose somewhere it didn't belong.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like it necessarily didn't belong there because she is Sonny's friend and she's always out to protect Sonny. Saying that one line to Olivia definitely crossed the line, but saying to Liv, like, hey, it's Sonny, you have to be honest with him. Like, Olivia knows that. We went through all that stuff with Kate and everything. Like, you got to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
But then Chase and Brook Lynn came home to get the good champagne.
Yeah, that was so funny. She's like, we're going to sneak in real quick, get the good stuff and be gone.
So I guess Blaze sang at a dive bar for New Year's Eve.
Yes.
So she's going to be a big star and all that. But then Tracy came down because she overheard the shouting while she was watching the countdown and asked Brook Lynn if Lois was leaving. She also mentioned that you do not disgrace the memory of Dick Clark in the Quartermain mansion, which I loved, or disparage, I'm sorry, because I was like, that's exactly what she said. And then Tracy's phone was blowing up. I thought it was going to be Laura calling her to tell her about Bobbie.
Yes.
Or Carly, but I figured Laura. And it wasn't. It was Scott texting her the purple vegetables. And that's when Chase and Brook Lynn confirmed that she was flirting separately, though. So Chase wasn't even in the room.
Right.
And then when he came in the room, they started talking about it. And Tracy just matter-of-factly says, no, he's after my money. Like, I'm not this stupid again.
Yeah.
And then Brook Lynn put her on Instagram. I want to know what her username is. And sees the picture
Tracy
of Scott and Lucy. And she's like, haha, I gotcha. I know that you're not actually into me.
Yeah, but she is going to feel like a jerk.
Yeah.
Whenever he throws back, no, we had just found out about Bobbie. Right. Because no one's going to check timestamps and all that stuff to be like,
But it would make more sense if he were also in the selfie with Lucy, and if the selfie was 5 of them.
Yes.
Whereas it is the 3 of them, and in the background you see Scott and Lucy.
Oh, I guess that's true.
Shows that they are off. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not taking a selfie
if they were all together. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like she follows the Port Charles Grill and there was a young couple that happened to take a selfie not knowing that.
Right.
Like, Laura's not taking a selfie after Bobbie died.
No, that's true.
You know?
All right. Yeah.
I liked that until thinking that out.
It wouldn't. Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. I guess he's not going to have a
But
way
I do
out.
feel like Scott is probably going to have a change of heart. I really, something just, maybe even Lucy will.
We'll have to see. I don't know. I don't think that Lucy will. I think it'll be Scott if someone's going to.
I guess we could just jump to Sasha trying to console Nina and trying to compare what she did to Nina as the same thing that Nina did to Carly. No. Not even close.
No, I did like that she said, though, like, what were you thinking? Because you may be a jerk, but you don't usually hurt kids, and you had to know this was going to directly impact Donna and Scout.
Right.
So, thanks.
Like, you had to have known that one, if not both, were could possibly go to jail.
Right.
Like, that was the ultimate outcome. And Nina's trying to say, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Then what did you want? What was your end game?
Right, exactly. You thought she was just going to get a slap on the wrist and that was going to make you even?
Right.
Because that's not what was going to happen.
And the motives were just even. But the motives, what was different.
Yeah.
Sasha was not trying to be malicious and take down Nina.
Right.
Valentine was paying her to fulfill Nina's deepest desire.
Yes.
Which is still horrible.
Absolutely. And Sasha was about the money, but not about trying to get extra money from Nina.
Right.
She just wanted Valentine's payday, not...
Right. They really never developed that part.
Mm-mm.
And never talk about all that. Yeah.
Nope.
But yeah, so I didn't like that part. Oh, and back to Willow borrowing the dress. She told Nina, I know I could always count on you.
Right. She just said things that were totally out of character.
Stop rewriting like they suddenly love each other all the time. Oh, and prior to the news about Bobbie, Drew was wondering why he's always been the peacekeeper with the Quartermaines. Where's that gotten him? It got him in jail. It's gotten him this and that. So I'm hoping that this kind of just, now that it's all coming out, maybe he'll let go of some of that bitterness.
Yeah.
You know, and realize that a lot of what just happened over the past few months has nothing to do with the Quartermaines.
I think he's going to come to that realization. I think that was part of him going to see Sam.
Yeah.
So in the middle of all this, we see Dante and Sam getting ready for bed, and in walks
They were not
Scout.
getting ready for bed.
They were getting ready to lay in the bed, be in the bed.
Fair point.
And
they were
Scout
not getting ready
in.
to sleep.
It was New Year's, so they were climbing into bed for whatever purpose they may want. Scout comes running in, all upset. She just had a nightmare about her new school, and the teacher was a monster, and she couldn't get away from it, and blah, blah, blah. And Sam did what any mother would have done, I feel like, because she had already been thinking about this. She had already talked about how Scout was reacting and how Scout didn't want to change and how Scout said this and Scout said that. It's not like this was out of the blue. If it would have been out of the blue and she would have been like, oh, honey, you don't have to go, that would be ridiculous. You need to co-parent when you can. But when your kid wakes you up in the middle of the night crying after you've already noticed all these other changes, yeah, you're like, you don't have to go to school. You don't have to go to that school.
I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I totally would have.
I don't like that she didn't even address the fact that you do have to, like, not all change is monsters. Like, she didn't address the fact that, okay, you know, we can talk about this in the morning, but, you know, when you meet new people, it doesn't mean that Scout's going to have to go through a change at some point in her life.
She absolutely is. But at that point, in the middle of the night, and she's upset and crying and whatever, I would have assured her that she did not have to go to the school because I've already witnessed all these other things.
See, I would have said, let's talk to your dad tomorrow and all that. I would not have told her, because exactly like Sam told Dante, I just did the same exact thing that I am mad at Drew for doing to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not saying like in the bigger picture that it was right, but in the heat of the moment, I absolutely would have been like, okay, you don't have to go to that school. And then the next day I would have said, hey, let's talk a little bit more about your dream and what was going on and blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of that conversation, been like, so do you want to rethink the whole school thing? Do you want to like go take another tour of it, blah, blah, blah? Or you do not want to change schools, especially in the middle of the year. Like, come on.
Well, and that is something that Drew should have really taken into consideration. I don't agree that Drew should have made that decision. I just don't think I would have made a decision.
Right. They were both
in
wrong.
The heat of a moment, in the middle of the night, telling a child something that I could possibly wind up taking back.
I wouldn't take it back. Just like Sam, Drew got mad for that minute.
You just said it though.
Yeah.
Have you changed your mind? So you would be talking her into possibly changing her mind. And then she'd be like, well, she didn't really mean that.
Nah, because I wouldn't have made her change her mind. I would have said, now that we've talked about it, have you changed your mind, or do you need more information or something? Like, you're free to make the decision with the information that you have. I'm noticing all of this. And whenever Drew was like, oh, you act like you're the mom, so you have final say. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do. You've been gone for a gazillion years.
Most of it has not been his
I don't care. You were not here for whatever circumstances.
No, but they've always made a point of trying to co-parent.
Yes.
And I'm glad how they ended it. And they're both like, so we both disrespected each other. Let's not do that again. Let's get back to where, but I don't think either parent should get a right to say 100% one way or another.
I will co-parent through everything that I possibly can, but when there is a definite right, wrong, and it comes to my child, yep, I'm the mom. I have overruling. Sorry. And that's married, not married. I don't care. They're my kids. That's just how it is.
They're both of your kids.
Nope.
Yes.
Nope. Mm-mm. So we can agree to disagree there, but no way. So, but I did like the conversation. Like, I absolutely agree. They both disrespected each other. You should try to co-parent whenever you can. You should try to have conversations with the kids, not pressuring them one way or the other, but giving them all of the information, blah, 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 blah. Like, yes, if you can do it together, you absolutely
can. You don't make life-changing decisions without the other one, and you don't just spring life-changing decisions on a child.
Right.
Without consulting the other parent.
Right.
Which neither of them did.
Correct.
And the thing is, Sam's an adult. She should have confronted Drew about that before.
She should have.
Like, as soon as Scout walked away.
She has said this several times.
Right.
Yes.
And it should have been, excuse me.
And even with him being in Australia, I'm assuming since he called Carly and stuff that they have cell phones that work. So she could have called or texted him at that point.
Even
and been like,
right after it happened.
I think we need to have another conversation. But I do appreciate, like, coming from the other side of her trying not to undermine Scout's dad in front of Scout.
Right.
And not saying it at that moment. So,
but she did by saying, you don't have to go.
She did at the end, after she saw all that stuff from Scout. I'm saying when they had the original meeting at the Metro Court, and he said, you're going to go to Westwood Academy, she didn't jump right in at that second and be like, no, you don't have to go to Westwood Academy, because she didn't want to undermine him in front of Scout.
I just don't like that it even got to that point, because Sam is not one to sit and stew on something, not when it comes to her kids.
Right.
That would have been a, Scout went to bed, you call afterwards, so we need to talk about what just happened today, because Scout's already
upset about it. Yes.
Right. It's not like Scout. It's okay. If this had been the first time that Scout showed any,
then
completely different.
100%.
But she had plenty of opportunities to bring this up beforehand.
If this was the first time that Scout had brought it up, I would not be with her of saying, oh yeah, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
That's when I would have we'll talk in the morning. It's okay. It's not happening tomorrow. We have time to think things through, blah, 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 and reassured her that way.
But she does need to address the fact that change happens, and
that
not
Scout
right this
already
second.
knows that change happens.
Right. But her being scared that, like, the new teacher would be a monster and, like, people would be after her and stuff like that, that's something entirely different for her to be having nightmares about that maybe we need to be talking about. Like,
yeah, maybe she needs to have some conversations about that, but that doesn't mean she needs to change schools to, like, prove it to her.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I'm surprised she didn't even discuss the fact that, hey, so why were they monsters? You know?
Yeah.
Like, what was happening? Because then there could also just be anxiety that Scout needs to learn how to have coping skills with.
Yes, I will agree with that. But at the end, which is why I think it's going to push Drew forward into, like, re-examining his thoughts on things, is he said to Sam, I'm sorry, I'm like, yes, we were both wrong, but I'm totally picking a fight with you right now because I'm really angry about Nina. And she was like, what?
Right.
And
he's like, wait until you hear this one.
Yeah. So I do like that he like reflected on everything and was like, yes, okay, I guess I would be mad that, like, even under normal circumstances, I would be mad that you told her she didn't have to go without consulting me, but I'm blowing this up into a bigger argument than it would be because I'm mad about something else. And she was like, thanks for recognizing that. Okay, I'm sorry too, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then they're back to happy little co-parenting family.
And Dante's the real winner because he was like, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but, you know, Drew also gets a say.
Yeah. I mean, he's definitely
you know, but he wasn't undermining Sam. He was just like, I get what you're saying, but you have to talk to Drew.
Yeah.
Because you can't just.
See, I do feel the same way about Dante now as I do Sam. Like, when Lulu wakes up, hopefully soon, if she tries to jump back into 100% parenting, like, she's been there all these years and she understands everything, I totally agree that Dante is the one that gets to be like, no, listen, Rocco and I had a system down and this is how it went. You don't get to jump back in. Like, I was back in Sam.
In their instance, it should be 50-50.
or like the Quartermain
She should be discussing
4951.
She should have been discussing it with Drew because she knew about it beforehand, and then it would not have gotten to the point where her daughter was having nightmares.
4951.
And it would have been squashed.
4951.
Nope. Then she should have been using the 51% to talk to him.
All right. I think we have to get off our soapboxes now and go back to
Cody trying to buy investment property, and he's going to buy Serenity, the estate that he grew up in.
Sure.
And Maxie was like,
get a new dream.
And it brought Bobbie into it. You know, Luke and Bobbie grew up in a really bad situation and they got out of it. You know, don't revisit that.
Right.
And Felicia showed up and was like, so we need to discuss something to do with your DNA test. And he's like, yeah, the one where I'm not Mac's son. She's like, yeah,
No.
That was the first one.
The new one that I took secretly.
Yeah. She seems kind with it, though. Like, she seems...
She does. I mean, how are you going to go into that
right,
with hostility? I ran your DNA without your permission.
Right.
After you already told me no.
But I think she's going to approach it as, I really wish you had just told us, because
right.
Mac would not have responded in the way that you think he should.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was that. That was like a one-off also. And then we got to see Ava in the gallery with... That was not, like, he didn't even come close to trying to get the same look with Trina. But okay.
That wasn't Trina.
I thought that was Trina.
No.
She said so Trina doesn't have to do it in the morning.
No. Yeah, so Trina doesn't have to do it in the morning. Ava was staying to do it. The girl's name was not Trina.
Oh, I thought
that was not a Trina. No, because they would have said temporarily recast. Oh, yeah, just like they did. They didn't say temporarily recast with Lindsay Hartley this week. Forgot to mention that.
No, they did not.
But that was a one day.
Oh, I thought they were trying.
No,
I thought they
her
were trying
name
to say
was something. Hold on.
I didn't pay attention, obviously. I thought they were trying to say that was Trina, and she was like, "No, I'm going to stay after, so Trina doesn't have to do it tomorrow."
Right.
Yeah.
But
in my
she wouldn't
mind,
have said it third party to the. If that was Trina, she wouldn't. She would have.
The girl had already left.
No, she would have said because she was like, "Are you sure?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to stay and get this done, so Trina doesn't have to do it in the morning. Go ahead and walk her to her car."
Okay.
She would have said, "I'm going to do this, so you don't have to."
That's not Trina.
And, you know, I didn't write her name down.
I just like to not hear parts to make you mad. All right. Anyway, so she's staying after so that Trina doesn't have to do work tomorrow. Other chick leaves. Bodyguard leaves to walk other chick out to her car. And who's there but Nikolas? And he's like, we're going to get Esme. And she's like, why do you need us to be partners if you're just going to kill her? Because I'm pretty sure you're just going to kill her. And he's like, no, I have something better. So I'm assuming he's going to be like, hey, let's pretend like we're a happy family together. And he's going to go for custody of Ace. And that's whenever Esme is going to be like, he's not even your son. And then they're going to have to run the DNA
Maybe
test.
He's not even a Cassadine, though.
That would be...
Just saying.
Earth-shattering.
I
mean, it makes sense, because we said with the timing in the beginning that it didn't add up. But then they kind of pushed it around to make it make sense.
It's a TV pregnancy, too. They can go on for a year.
True.
I just personally don't want Nikolas anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like they just need... Maybe I'm just sentimental. I know, I've said it before.
Definitely sentimental.
I know that Tyler wasn't the last one, but he is... Yeah. He's tied to that character.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Unless, I don't know, I feel like they could still redeem him if they came up with a really good storyline that would make us, like, interested again. But if we just have to go through this revenge on Esme and what's going on with Ava and whatever storyline again, it's going to be boring. We've done this. Been there, done that, like, several times. Move on.
Yeah.
Something else.
I don't know. I rolled my eyes through the whole thing and didn't really listen because I really just don't. I love Ava. I love her.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't really miss anything because he, like, kind of propositioned her but didn't actually say what he was propositioning her with. Just the end game was to get Esme, and she was like, why would I even want to get entangled with you again? But she didn't really say no, and he didn't really say this is what we're going to do. It was just kind of their flirtatious back and forth of that game that they play. Their toxic lust.
And I might just be like you on this where I'm just not liking change, but
yeah,
I don't know. I know that he was technically recast before Tyler died, but
I think it has to do with the fact that we met Marcus also.
But it's not just that. I really think it's because it's not like he was consistently on the show as a recast as Nikolas and Tyler passed away and you're like, man, that really stinks. He was dead.
Yeah.
And I guess it's the same thing as like Luke's not dead because Anthony Gary's still alive, and it made me mad that they killed Stuart Damon or killed Alan because Stuart Damon was dead. They should have, I don't know. I feel like whenever it comes to just certain characters, I guess it's just.
Right. When the actor or actress passes away, those characters, like with Bobbie, if they would have tried to bring in a new Bobbie, oh my God.
Or
there would have been no way.
Or if Tyler had passed while Marcus was on contract, how he had been, or even if Adam Huss had been on as much as Marcus had been.
Right.
But he wasn't.
Yeah.
And so it just feels weird to me where.
And I guess because they don't have a real storyline. That's what I'm saying. If they make them better, then make a better storyline, maybe I'll be okay with it. But it feels like you're just like forcing this character on us and it's all just wrong.
Right.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I do.
This is where I need to remember that it's not real. But it is.
It's real in the Port Charles world.
Oh, when Maxie said, I can't picture Port Charles without Bobbie Spencer, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not prepared for the actual service. Nope.
I just hope what I just said made sense though, because it's not like obviously I'm not like super against recasting, but it's just the timing of it all also kind of just stinks.
Right.
It's if he had been on weekly throughout the year.
Yeah.
That just would have been, I would not be saying, okay, we should just kill Nikolas.
Right. I mean,
but where he was gone.
You've been saying that for weeks. Months,
but no, but that's the thing is that where he has been gone.
Right. You could
it
just
feels
keep him
gross
gone.
to bring him back.
Yeah.
So, especially where they actually took the time to put in memory of Tyler Christopher at the end of like it would be like Cameron Matheson has been on consistently as Drew.
Right.
If Billy Miller had died while Drew was supposed to be still gone and the plane being down.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have been wrong for them to recast to bring him back.
Yeah.
I got you. That's like the same comparison.
I got you.
Yes. They're not going to bring back Epiphany. There's just, you can't.
Yes.
They didn't bring back Amy Vining. They also never acknowledged Amy Vining's passing, but that's a whole other thing. I do think that is everything, though.
I was just going to check my very limited notes. Yeah. I don't think there was anything else.
I guess that's actually a really good segue into a
reality check.
What's your reality check that you're hoping people die? Okay.
No, not hoping people die. No. No, I just meant like the blend between real and fictitious. My husband's birthday was on Friday. Yay! Happy birthday, JD. He's 21, twice over. Does not like that I did that math, but I thought it was cute.
I think it's cute.
What did I do this week? I mean, there was like some work and everything, but the thing that I was talking about at the beginning was that I told you guys that I was going to watch like the Kevin Smith movies and everything for New Year's Eve, that my aunt and I were, JD too, but my aunt and I hadn't seen one that came out fairly recently. And so we were like, that was actually kind of why we watched all the other ones, is because we wanted to lead up to this one. And something happened in it that I just started, like, it came out of nowhere. And I'm like, and we're sitting side by side, like cushion to cushion, kind of like how we are right now. And I'm just like, and she looks at me, she's like, are you crying? I'm like, and it was like, as it was going through. But then last night when we were watching something, she looked at me because she was expecting me to be crying. And I'm like, no, I'm not that emotionally attached to this one. But yeah, so I guess my aunt got to experience my crying that just comes out of nowhere sometimes. I don't mean to. I really
don't mean to, but that's why I love it.
I laugh at myself, and I laugh at myself.
It's so authentic. That's why I love it, is because you start your sentence and you're like, and then I can see a little tear start welling up and you're like, and then I cry. And I'm like, what? Okay, I got it.
But yeah, I guess nothing really. It's still kind of a slow week. Kind of still not fully on holiday mode. My son is still home until next weekend. Daughter went back to school Wednesday. Husband went back to work on Wednesday. It's kind of chill.
Nice-ish.
Nice. So, yeah. How about you?
I started back in mom mode. What was that? Go ahead.
I made Italian bread from scratch yesterday without my bread maker.
Wow.
It was so good.
That's impressive. You should have saved some for me to taste test.
I actually have some upstairs if you want some. but I made homemade lasagna. And if I had thought about it, it was kind of like yesterday was the first really snowy day. And it was, we were supposed to have plans last night and everything got canceled. We're like, okay. So I was like, I'm going to make lasagna. I was like, oh, I'll just get the bread maker and make Italian bread. And I was like, no, I'm going to try making it from scratch. Like, and okay, in my bread maker, it is from scratch, but I don't do as much. And I did it without the bread maker. Like, wow, shaped it and everything.
I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Gold star for Shannon. That can be the intro to our cookbook. Shannon's bread.
Italian bread. Okay.
Anyway, it was my first week back into mom mode because the kids went back to school Tuesday. And I'm like, I don't make New Year's resolutions, but it's like a fresh start. Like, okay, we're going to get everything together. You get your new calendar.
Especially when it started on a Monday.
Right.
That was perfect.
Exactly. So, like, get everything. I have one of those family planning calendars. So I like to, like, write everything in and whatever. So I'm like, all right, I got this. I was off this weekend. So Madeline had spent the last 2 weekends with their dad. I was like, we're going to do fun stuff. We did end up, well, it snowed most of yesterday. So I was like, I don't know what we're going to do fun. But we did end up going bowling with my family and then out to dinner right after. And so that was fun. And she enjoyed that and whatever. She was disappointed with her score because she thinks because she's good at Wii bowling that she should be good at real bowling. And they're not the same thing. But it's cute.
But that's sweet. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I like have all this in my mind. Like, I got this together. Had my first mom fail already. Her dance class started back up. And they had sent an email that I had seen that said, check, we're going to send out a calendar. Sometimes may have changed. And I was like, okay. So I even took the time the other day to go back through because like deposits are due for competitions coming up and blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, I need to make note of all the money that I need to get out to them, whatever, blah. And I looked for the schedule and I did not see it. So I'm like, okay, guess our class did not change. So I'm like, come on, let's go. We got to get there on time. Like, we're going to do this year, blah, blah, blah. Drop her off at the exact second that her class should be starting. So not really late, but not really on time either. And then I had to run to the bank. So I run up to the bank, stand in line at the bank, and I get a text message. Hey, Mom, my teacher said that you forgot to check the schedule. My class does not start at 9:30. It starts at 10:30. So she said I can stay here for the hour, but can you at least bring me some Dunkin'? And I'm like, yep, let me get done at the bank and I'll bring you some Dunkin'. I'm so sorry. I must have apologized to her 1,000 times yesterday. And she's like, it's okay. And I was like, no, it was like supposed to be. We're starting this year off on the right foot. I like got you there relatively on time. But
and Amanda's not an on-time person.
Oh, no.
Just so
no.
Like, that's actually a big deal.
I told that to my coworkers this week. They were all talking about how old they are and whatever, and they gave me the nice compliment of not believing that I was going to be 44 next month and blah, blah, blah. And one of them pointed out that, like, I could almost be her mom. And I kind of wanted to correct her because some of the kids in the class are my son's age or younger, but this particular chick is 30. And I was like, no, I cannot be her mom.
Well,
okay? No. Going off of when I had my first child.
No, correct.
I could not be your mom.
Correct.
There's no way. I would have been like extra, extra young. No. But anyway, I replied back and was like, oh, I'll just be everybody's mom, like room parent for the team, blah, blah, blah. And then we had something that we had to do after the fact with just a couple of us. And so this same girl said to me, do you have everything together? And I was like, listen, if I'm going to be your mom, you need to learn 2 things about me. I don't ever have everything together and I am never on time. So do not count on me for either of those things. The knowledge, absolutely, it's there. Like whenever.
But the first one, is nobody has it together. Nobody does. Even the most organized people do not have everything together.
True. But
not everyone admits it as freely as I do.
I do not have it together. And I will get there, but I will be at least 3 minutes late. I am sorry. That's just how the world works. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. So maybe
that's not how the world works. That's how Amanda's world works.
The rest of the year will go better. But yeah, I was mad that I already had my first mom fail. Luckily, Madeline was very gracious about it, and she was somewhere warm and safe and whatever. So it wasn't a huge deal. She got to watch some other kids dance, but starting off the new year with those mom fails. That's me.
Okay, so if we're going off of mom fails this week already, well, I wasn't keeping track. But I'm sure that there were some in there somewhere.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure there was way more than just that because I mom fail every day. That's part of being human and your kids have to accept that. But this was one of those things that I was like, I got it.
I at least thought that I was on top of it.
Yes, exactly. And then the teachers are all very nice, but to hear that like she had to go to like the owner of the dance place and be like, there's no one in my classroom, and her be like, yeah, that's because your mom didn't check the email, but I did. I just somehow missed it, or it went in my spam or something. Yeah. So anyway, but besides that, it was a good first week back to school. She had fun with all of that stuff. She had a presentation. She was like super nervous. I had to be like hard mom on Madeline, that I am never really hard mom on her. She had to write a couple paragraphs about these little dolls that they made. And she had all winter break to do it. And I did not realize that she had not done it yet in school. So it comes the night before and she's like, I don't have this done. I'm going to get in trouble, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's too late. It was like 10 o'clock already. You have got to go to bed. Explain it to your teacher. If you lose some points.
Mom's always late, so that's passed down.
How it is. Yeah, exactly. I'll take responsibility for procrastination or whatever. But then the next day,
it is not just your responsibility.
Yes. So then the next day she was like, oh, I talked to my cousin about it and he said that he would write it. And then I was like, no. Someone else does not do your homework for you. You are going to write it. So it was through lots of tears and like taking forever, but she finally wrote it all out. And then the next day they presented it and she was like, I volunteered to go first. And I was like, okay, again, you maybe aren't my child because I would never volunteer to go first, but good job. And you didn't die and you got a decent grade. There you go. So Shannon's over here with that look like, I always volunteered to go first because I knew everything.
No, I don't. I don't.
You're the leader. That's just how it is. But I'm comfortable with that. So I'm happy that Madeline is taking on more of your traits and being a leader. Standing up, I'll go first. So
I don't know. Or is it just I just want to get over and done with?
Either way, it looks good to volunteer to go first. So I'm glad that I try to teach my kids all of my bad traits to go against those. Like I hate being alone. And I'm like, spend some time by yourself. I hate going into places. So like I've talked about before, like Madeline, go in and get the milk. Like you're okay. I'm right here type of thing. So that's another, I don't know who gave it to her, but I'm grateful that she has it because.
See, I probably would volunteer first just because I don't want to have to be analyzing while everyone else is going and thinking, oh, I should have done that. Oh, I should have done that.
But see, it's
more of a defense mechanism.
But I would feel the same way if I went first because then I would be like, oh, I didn't do that. Can I go again? I messed up.
Yeah, but it's over and done with. You can't change it.
Yeah, I don't let things go that easy. And neither do you. So be quiet.
Oh, but if it's, I know for next time.
Okay.
To do it differently.
All right.
But if I had already just done it without seeing anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay.
But anyway, that's it.
Join us on Thursday as we talk about the 60th anniversary special.
It was so good.
It was.
Have a great week.
It was too short.
I say good week. Have a good week.
Yes. And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.
It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.